Listen up.
It's the number one voice of the tri-state. I'm number one. It's Cooking Up 215. So let the show begin.
Turn me up.
Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your girl Immigrant.
And this is Cooking Up 215, where we get you up close and personal with your favorite artists, entrepreneurs, shakers, and move makers. And today's guest, we have my man C. Diddy, Chad. What's up, and my man Matt Cain.
Hey, all right.
I appreciate y'all coming.
Thanks for coming.
You know, for those who don't know Chad, C. Diddy, my man Matt make me sick. You know what I'm saying? Makes me sick.
S.
Gotta add the S in there.
Yeah.
Don't want y'all to fuck that up. Get that S in there.
Yeah. Please say that. Like,
Please say the baby. Please say that. They actually have their own podcast, the realest podcast ever. They've been doing that since about 2017. 2017. So they was in the game far before the rest of you podcast babies popped out. You know what I'm saying? We was early birds. We was outside. So how y'all feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm glad to finally make it up here. You know, a lot of my my brethren and my comrades have been up here. We didn't get a chance to to come to the cooking up stage yet, but we appreciate being in the kitchen with you today.
Yeah, we say the great ones. A little later in the game, we gotta get the flavor in there, make it make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate y'all coming out. Y'all go to the podcast game.
I mean, we've been in this thing for a little minute, man. We've broken a lot of barriers. We helped a lot of people. We ghost produced a lot of podcasts, inspired a lot of people, and gave a lot of people their first shot as far as putting them on our platform or us going on theirs. So we've done a lot of work in a not so short amount of time.
No, for sure, man.
Dope.
Y'all actually did the Roots Picnic 2018.
Yeah, we were the first one.
Yeah, that was like only y'all second year in the podcast game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we was literally the first podcast ever to do a podcast stage at the Roots Picnic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So y'all like the originators of the podcast stage.
I mean, just the inaugural.
Y'all started it all.
Yeah, it was like us, It's the Real,
Angela Rye,
Questlove's
Drink
podcast,
Champs.
Drink Champs was on there.
And there was one other one that night. I can't think of that.
There was another person with Real in their name.
It's the Real.
Yeah, It's the Real.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So how did it feel being only 2 years in the game and to get like such an opportunity like that?
Major.
It was dope. It kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't, we didn't pitch for that. We didn't, reach out to nobody.
Yeah, I kind of woke up and Questlove had posted us, and I was just like, "The hell is happening?"
They asked y'all like, "Hey, do you want to do this?"
Yeah, somebody that worked closely with Live Nation, my man Talib Dean, actually vouched for us and was just basically like asking me questions leading up to it, but never like, this is what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, so we
What
was
y'all doing next Saturday? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Them niggas free.
Hey, you familiar with Festival Pier? Like just asking me like all of these roundabout questions or whatever, and then when they announced it in February, we kind of found out when everybody else found out.
Man, that's super crazy.
Yeah, but it was dope though. I think that was the last one at Festival Pier. I think the next year they moved it to the Man, and then it was done.
No, it wasn't.
It was one more at
Festival Pier.
and then it was down for
20
2 years.
was shut down. Yeah.
20 and 21, I think, was shut down.
Yeah, for COVID.
Yeah, and then it came back 22.
And then y'all was supposed to be on 22 and then some fuckery.
And then we were supposed to be on 23 too, but it's like,
a little something happened.
what it is it's it's politics.
Why y'all got this fool drink?
It's politics. A lot of this stuff be politics. And 22, I feel like we was supposed to be on there because we was doing a lot of shows and we was in Live Nation venues, so we was doing stuff in Punchline pretty consistently or whatever, big crowds, like 250, 300 people, whatever, basically selling out Punchline. So it's like, yo, if this show is essentially a letter to Philadelphia, which is what they told everybody.
Right.
2022 Roots Picnic, a letter to Philadelphia. We coming back from COVID, we back, the Man, all of this stuff. And then it's like you have like, a major force in Philadelphia is like missing.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Like they had all these podcasts.
They was like,
yet we in Philly, and then you don't put people that represent us.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. They was just going finding niggas after a while. Like after you got past like show number 4 or 5, y'all just finding niggas. I'm like, who are these people? Who are Smack? Who was this nigga? Like it got to a young ill point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what was going on.
Who are these niggas?
Whose names are these?
What Tommy Davidson say? Who are these niggas?
Yeah. Because it's like I do, just as a lover of the game and somebody that's competitive, I do a lot of auditing on podcasts. So it's like I know people numbers, I know who's listening, I know how many ratings you got, I know if you ever had a live, I know everything.
Right.
So it's like, so when I'm auditing all of these shows and it's like, wait, all right, well, they did this, but they got 4 episodes. Like, what is good? Like,
how you even making
this is
list?
Trickery. Like, this is because at the time when we did it, there was a clear rubric, a clear, you got to do a certain amount of stuff. We already had like 50 something shows when we did the Roost Picnic at that point. So to see shows that had 4 episodes, you don't have no video presence. You missing this. I can't find a trace of you online. It's like, these are y'all cousins. Like, why are we playing these games?
I think that's what always kind of watered down our situation, like our award shows, all the shit that kind of gives people the credit when they don't, be getting that credit that's due to them. Then you got those people that slide in there, like right now with the paying for the checks. You know what I mean? You got a lot of paid for situations. Even with that, like I would have thought like, damn, maybe, y'all talk to the right person, grease the right palm. Yeah. And you up in there. But it's nice to know that y'all earned that. You got that joint and they made that happen. But it definitely takes away when they put people in these positions and for a fact, like, brother.
Or you have other situations where it's like, it's overly inclusive. Like, I'm not gonna say the name of the award show, but it was an award show that used to happen in Philly like every year at the TLA. And then you would look, and then it was like a big deal when the nominations came out. And then you would look, and it's like every category, 44 niggas is nominated. And you're like, yo, if everybody's nominated, who's like actually qualified to this? Like, but what it was is it was a trick to sell tickets and to get people talking about it.
That's all that it is.
Yeah. So it's like, yo, if we just get everybody, if everybody's nominated, they're a winner by default. If they win, it don't even matter. It just matter that they nominated because they gonna tell 5, 15, 60 niggas buy a ticket. We sold out the TLA. And now we won. Y'all gonna get these $4 trophies.
Version. The name not even gonna be on there.
I'm wondering if they put names on. I'm definitely wondering.
To the winner. you gonna get this trophy. You gonna take it around.
I was watching Martin the other day when he did the players ball. It was a basketball trophy with a cape on it.
What's on clearance?
Clearance, yeah, $2 give us that joke. Fucking idiot.
You get a trophy. You get a trophy.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. And I think they just sent out the nominations too. I ain't see y'all. I was like, damn, they don't fuck with y'all. They don't like.
We don't get.
You don't rub some shoulders, some elbows.
We don't get nominated for none of this stuff. And then it's like, at the end of the day, I be knowing all of these people. Not only do I know these people, I know y'all dirty secrets. I know where the bodies is buried. I know that you sexually harassed the girl. Like, I be knowing, so it's like, they don't even want me in the building. Because, like, I've lived every kind of life you can live before this thing here. Like, I was in the streets. I did party promoting for 15 years.
We about to get it too.
So I know these guys from different stuff, and I've caught them in compromising positions a time or two. I seen them with their pants pockets flipped upside. No, with their pants pockets flipped inside out because a nigga went through them and took all their money. Like, so it'd be certain stuff that like has went on, and they're like, no,
they want to make sure you
absolutely
can't smell the beans.
That's not happening. No.
I haven't done anything to these people. That's the fucked up part.
You're just associated.
I'm just around. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
I'll be honest. I don't really care. Like, and that's kind of where I like mentally put myself. Like, I'm not worried about certain things. I don't. All that negativity. I don't.
You see, like, you just be chilling. You just doing what you love, and you just kind of down for the ride.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm in the same places that I'm at. And those are the places I care about, and the shit I don't care about, I don't even fucking factor into the equation.
It don't change what you
It's just what it is. Like, it don't move me, it don't shake me. It just, we do what we do, and if you fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you don't, then you don't. That's life. It's like, you can't make everybody a fan.
Yeah, for real. Because even with us, it was like, for a while, man, like, we started this shit like 2015 originally, and it was like nobody was doing it. So even when those award shows you talking about, and I'm not hearing certain things and certain shit, it was like baffling. And you just learn, like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I don't do no extra research.
Yeah, the homies is nominated, and then the homies is nominated, and then my girl nominated.
Like, I think it's one of them things where I kind of had to like look at myself one day, where it's like, if I was that person, would I nominate me? No. Right. I don't even talk to people half the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it makes total sense. So it's like, it is, like I said, we do what we do. and that's it.
Yeah.
There are people who love us. There are people who vouch for us, and I'm talking about like we interviewed a councilwoman today. Like we do real live things where real live people in and around certain industries love what we do. I have people who've come to me with like crying testimony about how we helped them get through this or get through that, or you know, I talked about like the weight loss thing, or talked about credit or whatever. You don't know what people are going through.
Right.
So when you get people to come to you like, yo, y'all helped me get through this depression, or you helped me really turn my life around, or I just bought my first house because of the credit tips that y'all gave me on Patreon. I just
bought my second BMW in 12 months.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, when you get those, it's like, all right, well, I don't really care that this person is like, I don't like the way they do it. It doesn't exist.
It don't hold
almost.
a candle to what you really, those real attributes that mean something. When those people jump in your DM talking about how they love it, it's so dope and shit like that. That's the shit that really means something.
What people don't realize is that we've interviewed any and everybody from and around Philly that's doing anything. Not just rappers, not just managers, not just entrepreneurs, not just like we've interviewed everybody that's got any type of momentum or whatever that's doing anything going on. So if you do a Philly-based show and you don't nominate us, your platform is invalidated because that means you don't know what's going on.
Yup. Facts, big facts. So let's go back even before the podcasting. So Matt, you was working for Scepter back in the day.
We have to talk about that.
You know, we like to do a little digging because I think that is. I was trying to figure out how do you even say it? Working for Scepter in Philly?
What do you mean?
Like, Philly is hard. You backdoor dickhead. Like, you know what I mean? How you deal with shit like that? Was it stressful? Not really.
I kind of played with it.
Okay.
Like I made it fun. You know, that's kind of how I got like my social media shit. Like I would basically just tell funny stories and act a fool out there on the street with the people and shit like that. And I never really got into like crazy shit. I did beat a nigga up one time, but that was that was years ago.
It was early in the
that was early on
the
before they put the camera in.
It was before the cameras. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was 2011. Yeah, it was 11.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 2011. November 2011.
What'd he do?
Spit at me.
Oh, nah.
See, that's
grounds to get your ass on.
That's the universal language. If you want to get it on, just spit at me. We gonna go.
It didn't hit me, but it just it was
spit my direction.
It's just the energy
Don't
of it.
send that shit over here.
And I kind of just blacked a little bit, but like I said, I was young. You gotta remember, I started at Scepter when I was 23.
Yeah, you was in the game early.
Yeah, I was a fucking child. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's one of them things where it was cool for the time being, and you figure I was there 14 years. And it just like, I look at a lot of jobs now where things are changing, especially with like COVID, how things like just, a lot of these jobs that were career jobs back in the day are going to be more revolving door as we go forward. Like back in the day, if you got a job at like Amtrak or Scepter,
or was the one.
You're a police officer. I know people who've left being cops. Man, this shit corny. Man said he get me down to the lumber yard. Like motherfuckers, because a lot of these jobs, they're not the same. There isn't the same level of respect from management to the employee level. There isn't the same. When I first started at Scepter, you almost had like a level of autonomy. You know what I mean? Like there was a certain level of like, you over there, we don't bother you. You in, so do your thing.
Yeah, like it was like a gang. Like, once you in, you ain't getting fired.
I remember when I first started, them old heads that play 6-card rummy and all that shit, they used to sit there and like gamble till like, if you ain't got no money, you take the bus down the street. Go ahead, take the 17 down the street, nephew. All right. That was how it was. And then you brought in the cameras, the satellite, the GPS. Like a lot of people, when I first started, we didn't even have cameras or satellite. You take the bus anyway. You take the bus home. You know what I'm saying? But it's like once
right on the block.
No, motherfuckers used to do that shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? I remember when good old head, he got fired. He signed up for a school tripper. This nigga signed up for a school tripper because that's basically like outside of your run. Like say you take a run to do 5 trips on the 52. So you do a school tripper where you basically keep picking up the kids at this spot, and you gotta be like school buses taking kids directly to the school.
Yeah, they used to be outside the school and shit sometimes. Some people
exactly, because I used to do divings and shit. But he signed up for a school tripper, Roman Catholic. Parents started complaining like their kids just wasn't getting to school and shit. they go realize he at the fucking casino. Like, motherfuckers was crazy. You could do anything. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And I'm not
Valet
saying
parking the bus. Watch this joint for me, nephew. I'll be right out.
I get $50 for cars. What the fuck is this? Yeah. But you know, like I said, there was just a certain level of graciousness you had in a lot of these things back now. This is just all across the board. People I know who work for, like I said, Amtrak. People I know who work for cable company. Like it was a lot of different things where if you got that job, it was like, yo,
it was good.
You
set.
You hit the lottery.
You got a pension. You did it.
That's it. Yeah. You get that.
Yeah.
I know,
You don't need nothing
you
else.
probably even know him. A friend of mine, family member.
I
His
hate
name
this.
Brian. Brian was a bus driver. Light skin, heavy set, beard,
Where'd he drive it?
glasses. He from Islandy, so I couldn't
No, I mean
tell
like
you.
what bus did he drive?
Cannot tell you.
I know one Brian who was heavy set, light skin, and wore glasses, and I feel like you talking about
Probably
B.
him. Probably big, yeah. It's probably him. Short, he cool, little deep voice. Yo, what's up?
Yeah, I feel like I know who you talking
It
about.
got to be him. But yeah, like Brian had that job forever.
Yeah.
But it was like knowing, like, bro, you can accept the joint. You cool. They pay you good.
Yeah.
You going slow.
Paying every
Especially
Thursday.
when you there for a while, you get the good route.
Nigga.
You know what I mean? Your schedule cool.
Priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could run people over. It was. I'm being all the way honest, dog. I remember
union is real.
I remember my first accident I got in. I was on the 33 at 22nd in Cambria. I think there was a dollar store right there in the corner. And I pulled in, people was getting off the bus, and I went to pull out, and the back was the Arctic, swung around, and I like slammed the back into this potato chip truck. Like mangled it, put it all up on the curb and shit. So I got off, I looked, I'm like, damn, I hit all that shit. The people was like, go, get the fuck out. I'm like, nah, nigga, we can't lean no hitting. What the fuck wrong with y'all? So people all out there like, just go, nigga.
What neighborhood was you in?
Philly. And the supervisor came and I was nervous as shit. Mind you, I'm fresh out of training and shit. I'm just like, they gonna fire me for this shit. I'm still in the probation and shit. She came, she looked at it, she was like, all right, she did all the shit. She was like, are we supposed to be at for schedule? And I'm like, what you mean? She was like, you can go to 16th and JFK and you can start working the back. I'm like, oh, we can just hit shit? Bet.
That's when you know.
Yeah, I'm like, we can just tear shit up. I'm like, I don't even gotta take a piss.
There's real roots around here.
Like, all right, bet.
Thank God, take a suspension. Right back on another bus.
And like I said, over the years, it just, the energy changed to where once you saw that older management kind of leave, and that's something people don't really realize when it comes to a lot of jobs, is like, there was a level of autonomy across the board. You know what I'm saying? To where you didn't even have to follow certain procedures. Even though they're in place, you might not have to follow them because that's just the nature of the job.
Right.
But now, like social media, like the news, like movies, like television, like music, everybody had to get more socially aware, ready for like, you know, care. You had to become like real strict as far as what you could do.
What you could do, yeah.
Like I said, back in the day, I had a situation where I literally choked the life out of somebody on the bus. And it's just like, yeah, but now you get into a situation where you cursing somebody and they film it on the phone and that go viral. You
It
done,
changes
you know.
everything,
So it's
we
just
live
that.
in a sensitive society.
So I'll be honest with you. Back in the day, to me, it was easier to do it.
Right.
Whereas I saw like the tightening of everything over the last couple years, where it's like, yo, you almost can't even function in this shit.
No,
You know what I mean? Like you physically, especially when you're dealing with. I always say it's one of those jobs and one of those positions where you force me to be professional around the most unprofessional people on the planet. Like I don't think, because all of us are pretty like okay, you know what I'm saying? Langston got lotion and shit on. Like, we all cool, you know what I'm saying? But when you get down like Kensington and like the deep parts of North, like these people don't function. Like they don't have any like understanding of it. So when you're trying, like somebody I know, he got in a situation where he ran into a woman who was sitting in a recliner in the rain. Under the L.
I am.
And it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do emotionally after that happens?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why are you sitting in a recliner in the middle of the street in the rain? But she was high.
Just sitting there chilling.
Brought the recliner outside and put it in the street in the rain, and he couldn't see because it was pouring down rain.
Ooh,
Damn.
yeah.
Sheesh.
That's a big
She checked?
No, she ain't die.
Oh, all right.
But like, you
Being
know.
high.
And
They say
then
being high.
dope
that
strength.
shit-
Yeah, dope strength. I can remember pulling up to the corner at on the 54, fuck, Kensington and Somerset. I opened the door and this girl came running on the bus, butt ass naked. ran on the bus screaming that the devil was chasing her. She's like, the devil's chasing me, devil's chasing me, devil's fucking chasing me. And literally, butt ass naked, ran up the steps on the bus, ran all the way through the bus, and ran off the back door. I just kept going. I was like, whatever, man. And you almost get shell shocked. Like, you used to this shit after a while. Like, that's it. You know, it's one of them jobs where I could tell stories for days.
I was
like,
about to say, you probably got some of the craziest stories.
My man, he a lawyer, and he was telling me, he was like, whenever they do jury selection, they love when SEPTA drivers come in. Because it's like, we love having SEPTA drivers on the jury because they nothing shocks them.
They just everything.
You do that
won't
shit for 2-3 years. I was telling my girl how crazy the bus was. She like, you making this shit up. It's no way this is like, this is when we first started dating. I'm just like, no, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. She was like, I'm gonna come get on the bus. And I'm like, come ride with me, see this shit. You know what I'm saying? My last trip, I was on a 48. Last trip, we downtown. Remember Big Bangs?
Big Bangs.
Right at City Hall?
It sounds familiar.
It's the bar,
15th and Arch.
right across from City Hall.
All right.
Right across from the municipal building, actually. I forgot what it's called now.
I know what you're talking about.
We pull up at Big Bang. She got a martini glass in her hand right at the dock. So I'm like, yo, you can't come on here with liquor. She like, drink the shit, crash your glass. Come on, I'm getting on the bus. I'm like, all right. So we riding. So whole way up North Philly, she just like, I got to pee. Can you speed this motherfucker up? I gotta pee. Da-da-da-da-da. So my girl sitting literally in the first seat, and she just like, what the fuck is wrong with her? I'm like, she be like this. I see her all the time. So I'm driving, whatever. We get to Gerard. She like, you killing me. You going so fucking slow tonight. Da-da-da-da-da. She get up and go to the back of the bus. So my girl was like, where is she going? I'm like, oh, she going to pee. And I'm still driving or whatever. And literally, you hear motherfuckers like going crazy, screaming. The piss was rolling down. She in the back, squatted over, peeing in the back of the bus, and I'm just like, yo, next stop, York. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't tripping off this shit.
Oh, nah.
So the people, one of the niggas, he didn't realize what was going on. He had like his earphones on or whatever. He looked down. He like, yo, what the fuck? He like, bitch, you pissed on the floor, my feet and this shit. You stupid. He going crazy. She like, let me off this motherfucker. She opened the back door. He chased her off the bus. He chasing her down the street. So it's like 6 or 7 motherfuckers on the bus. I'm like, listen, yo, it's the last trip. I'm the last 48. Yeah. I can get y'all off the bus and just take it in, or I can call it. If I call it, they gonna make me put y'all off. They like, it's cool, don't worry, motherfuckers. Let it ride. And I look over my girl just like, it's a normal last night.
Like shit, regular.
Yeah, nah, that's how this shit goes.
And I see her all the time.
I dealt with her a lot. So it's like, it's one of them things where I used to make fun of it. And like how I'm telling this story, that's kind of what I would do. But it definitely got to a point of like, yo, this shit is like, it's a headache. It's like I come in and I go out on the street and deal with all of that. Then I gotta come in here and deal with y'all, look in the back of the camera like, why you didn't do this in that moment? Why you didn't do this? Right. Why you didn't do that? Why was you doing this? Why was you doing this? It just became ridiculous after a while.
You just said, fuck it.
I had a lady, last one, white lady gets on the bus, drunk as shit. I knew she was drunk when I opened her. I shouldn't even have let her on. But she gets on, she roasted. She was like, you look like that rapper. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face. So then as she turned away from me, I pulled off and she, boom, hit the floor. Face first. Bust her whole shit open.
Oh, just fell? Like she
just like a sack of potatoes. Bust her whole shit open. So I got to call in because there's blood all over the place or whatever. I call it in. They like, oh, take the bus off the street. I went to the specific depot so they could clean it, whatever. Now, when you have an incident, they supposed to watch 15 minutes before or 15 minutes after. And they can write you up for any infraction that comes with that. Whatever. Now, mind you, I'm at Plymouth Meeting. I'm on the 27th. I'm at Plymouth Meeting when this shit happened.
I used to catch that joint.
I'm all the way up Plymouth Meeting. So the director called me in the office. He got the shit pulled up on the camera. So I'm like, what the fuck they done seen now? So he like, yeah, I want to show you something. So he pulls the video up. It's me on the highway on 76. So I'm like, there's no way this is within 15 minutes of me being all the way up Plymouth Meeting from the highway. He's like, no, I ain't write you up. I was watching video. Would you see something? It's me eating chips on the highway. Just like, yeah, don't be eating no chips.
You're supposed to do that.
It has nothing to do with the disciplinary.
And it's just like, who wants to do with this? Every day.
I had this long ass ride from motherfucking Ridge Avenue.
He like, you ain't eat just one, you ate the whole bag. Big ass $2. I was like, man, I was fucking cruising.
Man, you can't handle chips. That's got like some jealousy.
Yeah. You deal with stupid shit. Like I said, it was fun and it was cool for the time being, and I got to a point where I was like, kind of just past it.
Can't be forever.
Nah.
Yeah.
So
Diddy, yourself.
Yes.
You got a real
diverse.
Yeah, very diverse background as well. So you actually were in the corporate world before.
Yeah, I worked in corporate for like 9 years. I worked for Enterprise Rent a Car. Then I worked for Enterprise Fleet as a business-to-business sales. Then I worked for ADP as a district manager doing human resource sales, like ADP, the payroll company or whatever like that. Doing district as a district manager doing payroll sales, and then after that it was just like straight nightclub. I was already doing the club stuff on and off before then, but then after that I just abandoned corporate.
Was about to say, like, how you know, we always assume like the party promoters be like niggas from the street.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these always the hood niggas. They don't want no corporate job, refuse to have one, they ain't getting it. You know, barely educated type shit. Like, not saying y'all stupid, but
y'all are.
I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's like where hustlers go to hustle legitimately. So how did you end up in party promoting from corporate?
Well, the first organized party that I threw was like my 25th birthday party. So you're talking about, by the time this air, I'm gonna be 40. So it's like 15 years ago at Benny the Bums, my man Mikey O or whatever. Me, my man Mikey O, Truck, my man Heem, free my man Heem. We did a party at Benny the Bums on like a Wednesday night or something like that. And I did my birthday party. And my flyer was like the Lil Wayne dedication flyer. That was like my first party or whatever that I did. So this tells you the era of what was going on. So we did this party or whatever. I made some decent money. And then from there, you know, it was basically shown that like I had like a little bit of a following. And this is before Instagram and Twitter and all. This is like the Facebook days. Okay. So it's like just Facebook, and I had paper flyers. Handing them Jones out any and everywhere I went or whatever the case may be. So that was like my first taste of like getting any type of money, like throwing parties and stuff. So from there we started having like a Saturday residency at Solo, which is the Ave now on Delaware Ave. Was Egypt once upon a time. Like,
that was 80s.
Big giant super club right at the corner of
Spring Garden.
Front and Spring Garden. So Delaware Ave and Spring Garden rather. So we had a Saturday residency there. We was doing stuff at a spot called Privé, which used to be Bluesette on Market Street. Like just a bunch of different places, like any and everywhere around the city, whatever. My man Mikey, he live in Tampa now, but he was like a big deal in partying. He was like, you know, one of like the godfathers of like Philly nightlife or whatever. So he was like navigating me around, showing me a lot of stuff. And then I just kind of like cold turkey, like left, stopped doing parties and went full-fledged like into my career. Like I'm not gonna be a degenerate. Out drinking all night, you know what I'm saying? I'm out 6-7 days a week.
Get my shit together.
Exactly, let me get my life together or whatever. And then at some point, fast forwarding, my man Ali Young Moolah from Uptown, I used to always go to his parties. Like he was the only person that'd get me to like come uptown and go to his parties. They used to do stuff at like Champagne's and what was the other spot on Shelton Avenue, like closer to Wissahickon. I can't think of the name of it, but it's something. It's King's Cafe now, but it used to be something else before that or whatever. But yeah, I would go up there, go party with them, whatever. He was like, "Yo, I got big bangs downtown Monday nights," and then we started. This is right when Twitter hit, like 2010, 2011, and then we started throwing these Monday nights, and then like the first Monday, we was on Sunday nights first, and then it was like us in there. No, it was us. It was us and the door person. So first like 2 Sundays, it's like, yo, this shit ain't working. They was like, yo, Bang, who's the guy, Big Bangs. He's like Asian guy was named Bang somehow. He's like, Bang said, yo, we could switch to Mondays. So I'm like, Mondays, I don't know how that's gonna work. After work crowd doesn't like, no, it's gonna work, I'm telling you. And we did like 2 Mondays and then it exploded. And we got to the point where on Monday nights where we used to have to lock the door and do like 1 in and 1 out. And we was having like 400 people come out like every Monday in this little small, like confined space. And it became like the biggest shit in the city. And then from that, it just opened up a whole world to me to basically like do whatever I wanted, throwing parties after that, because they was like, yo, y'all crazy niggas is like got all these people coming out on a Monday night. You could do whatever you want. Like,
if you a good dude.
Yeah, and like it was me, my man Ali, eBay, my man Mutta, and Ayo was the host.
I was gonna say Ayo crazy.
Ayo was the host, and once we added Ayo as the host, shit went crazy. And it's like people just loved it. People would literally come and sing karaoke all night, and then eventually shit went left. Somebody got poked up, and then
always some
the
drama.
Mayor came and did a press conference.
Let me walk down the street.
Especially being downtown too.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like they got labeled a nuisance bar. because of the incident. We tried to sneak and like, oh, we gonna switch the night and do stuff, and you know, because they was making too much money. It's making like $30,000 every Monday. Jeez. Who wants to give that Monday up?
Right.
Nobody. But when the mayor and the deputy inspector come in front of your place and label you a nuisance bar, niggas gotta go. They kicked us. They kicked our asses out. So, few weeks we found Mikey's. So then the weather breaks, spring, Monday night, indoor, outdoor. Now we got Mikey's, and then this shit grew to 700 people on a Monday night. And our biggest party there, we did the Danny Rumph Classic after party on a Monday. You know, the finale for Danny Rumph is on Monday. We had like 1,200 people came on a Monday night.
So you go at this party shit.
At that point, at that point, and then you know,
had something. You like, I'm outside.
And then you know, we was bouncing around. We did a big party at a spot called Industry 19. It's right where on the block where Bankroll Philly is now. Industry 19 was there. My man Justin Carson. We did a party so big there it scared them. It was like, yo, it's too many fucking people here on a Thursday. We will refer you to another venue
to push you to
somewhere else. And then we went to Aura. Down on Front and Fairmount. Front and Fairmount.
Yeah.
So we went there.
The gas station and all that.
We went there and we did Thursday nights. Me, Ready Rock, my man North Philly Meech. North Philly Meech's first party he ever did was with me.
That's hard.
My man Smoke from Uptown and my man Bo. And then we did Thursdays there. Did the biggest parties. Meek came one night. We did like a powerhouse pre-party. Meek and Trey Songz came. Trey Songz parked this tour bus outside and came to our party because it was like, yo, what's the biggest shit going on in Philly on Thursday?
You ain't had to pay him.
No, he just showed up.
Damn.
We did Wale concert after party one time on a Thursday or Friday. But yeah, like the biggest stuff you can do in the city, I've done it.
You did it. Yeah.
I was the marketing director for Vanity Grand for like 3 years.
Your Vanity days, it was the days too.
Yeah.
All the celebrities.
Yeah.
I guess from there you was able to have packed houses.
Yeah, you see everybody now, like who's some of the biggest artists. So the biggest artists I was probably like Lil Baby and Lil Durk. We brung them to the city before anybody. When Lil Baby first had my dog, me and my man Coon from Dream Chasers, Meek, used to be Meek manager or whatever, we brung Lil Baby, performed live at Vanity with Black Poppy, and then shortly after that, we brung Durk for the first time with my man Kion, Trap Street Kion, that's like getting all these artists from Philly signed or whatever. Yeah. He was over there working at Vanity with me in the beginning, and we brung Lil Durk, and then that started the like,
that celebrity thing every time.
Exactly. But even still, but just kind of like solidifying like how big Durk's following was in Philly. Because the first time we did Durk, like 600 people came. And then the second time we did Durk, 1,200 people came. And then the third time we did Durk, 2,200 people came. Yeah. So it just got like progressively bigger and bigger and bigger. And then now when he comes here, you see him selling out like the Man Music Center or the Leah Core Center, like 7,000 to 10,000 tickets. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But we started that.
Yes, that's crazy. And so what happened with the Vanity situation?
So Vanity got to a point where basically mismanagement before I got the like marketing director position. And my man John Meehan, who was the owner of not only Vanity but Cheerleaders, he's the best nightclub owner on earth. Like nobody beats him. He fair. He want everybody to make money. You know, he understands his business. He understands the plight of the promoter, the whole thing. And he basically got made an offer he couldn't refuse in order to sell Vanity. And I can't disclose like numbers, but it was basically was like a deal where it was like, yo, not only will we make you financially whole from day one. So it's like, we don't care what you made, whatever. What did you put out in order to get into this venture? Cool. So we'll backtrack. We'll make you financially whole from day one and allow you to operate for like 4 more months out before we come in here, shut this down and redo it. And the Sin City group from New York ended up buying it or whatever. Right. So that last 3 months of 2019, January, February, March, we just did the craziest like blowout parties like ever. Yeah. And it's like we was just hitting every single week. We was hitting. We did like Flip De Niro when he had the Leave Me Alone record out. We did good with that. We had Casanova when he was like big. We did like 700 people with Casanova. We had a party with Chinese Kitty and I don't know, some homeless people. That brought out like 600 people. But then like we started to get into like March. We did YBS Scola. We did March Madness. We did YBS Scola the first week. We did Lil Durk and Moneybagg Yo back to back on a Friday and Saturday night. I think Moneybagg Yo did like 1,100 people or 1,500 people, and then Durk came back and did 2,200 the next night. 2 nights in a row. We did Fabulous in the mix of that, and we did G Herbo. And then I think the last party we did there was the North versus South party that they do every year.
I remember that.
With the South Philly Asians and Trap
Bottle
Street
Wars
and all that, Bottle Wars and all that shit. Then that was the last party at Vanity. But we blew the shit out so much so like that last quarter of being open, like no lie, like the club made over 7 figures for sure.
And you made it right before COVID.
Right before
COVID was about to hit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a vicious jump. Yeah, you gotta run, man. Y'all had Gucci up there. We was down there. We used to do,
Gucci, Migos. The first time Cardi B came out after she had Culture was at Vanity Grand. I made the video that went viral on the Shade Room. The Shade Room picked it up. All the blogs picked it up. She was in a section dancing or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was my video that they lifted from Vanity's page, and then it just traveled all over. This is before the days of like, hey, I see this is making some noise.
Shit,
Can I? They used to take your shit.
Yeah.
Rick Ross came, shut it down, like the fire department came.
Yeah, that was the all-white party
Capacity,
we did.
yeah.
Yep, that was our
They
party.
worse in there.
Vanity, that's what I'm saying. Vanity was that shit. I don't know why. So why didn't Sin City pick up?
Adopt that same vibe.
Because Sin City came in with a different aesthetic. Like Sin City's owners, they were in the South Bronx in New York or whatever. I think they still got that spot up there. But they operate like show bars or whatever, which is like partially nude, not really like gritty, like urban, like Magic City type strip club stuff or whatever. So their whole aesthetic is we want to attract like a diverse crowd, mainly white and Hispanic people or whatever like that. Even if they trappers, they could be Hispanic. Like they could be trappers as long as they Hispanic. Like because historically they just come, do what they do, throw their money, go the fuck home. Yeah. Niggas shoot people.
Niggas
bring drama.
Niggas bring a lot of drama.
Fuck your shit
So
up.
with that in mind, they just like, yo, we kind of want to stay away from like that overly urban audience because they don't want to make the mistake of like getting hooked on the cash.
Right.
Niggas come with cash. And it's hard to turn that off once you turn it on. It's like, oh well, yeah, we made 200,000 last month. We ain't doing. After that, it's like now this our spot. We love it here. We want to come here.
We coming every weekend.
We coming every day, nigga. Y'all open 7 days. We coming every day. So now you get to a point where because niggas is in here every day, you fuck around and on a Monday have some shit that ruins the rest, not only the rest of your week, but the rest of your month and your clientele to where the people that you've been nurturing to come here don't want to come no more because of.
And now you got to cater to the niggas.
Now you all in on the niggas.
Yeah, I had a run playing like high stakes poker, and one of the guys I would play with, he was white and owned a bunch of bars and like spots and shit. And I remember having a conversation with him, but he would say the nights he was trying to say it without saying it. He was like, when the brothers come, man. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to be as PC as possible.
He's like, when the brothers come, man, they get to order bottles and let me get this and that. And to build 22,000, they don't give a fuck because they bought 40. And he's like, it'd be great, but it's like I need 95 security guards to offset that.
And sometimes
shit.
That's not enough.
Yeah, he was like on the nights, other nights, you got guys come in. He's like, it is crazy when you think about it. They don't do that. That's not their culture.
Right.
He's like, they might ask for like a bottle of Jägermeister. If that.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't make no fucking money with no Jägermeister.
So the money's good, but the other shit that come with it ain't good.
And it's just, it just, like I tell him all the time, like, it's funny because I don't drink and I'm not really one of those people. Like I literally, we were in Miami. I remember we went deep as shit. We had rented all these cars. We just fucking house. It was ridiculous. And we went to the club and we got in there and they was like, yo, everybody want to just get a bottle for the section. I'm just like, all right, let me get a bottle of Grey Goose. And they was like, Grey Goose? I'm like, no one drinks that?
y'all off the goose?
Yeah.
You don't mess with the goose no more?
And they was like, get the bottle of whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, yeah, let me get a bottle of this. She's like, okay, they 500. And I'm just like, no, just one bottle. I don't need a case. Just one bottle.
Hey, yo.
And she was like, yeah, they 500. I was like, y'all meet y'all at the pizza place. I left. I got my car in the valet. I got a meat lovers pizza. I'm like, I meet y'all niggas in the park. I paid $5 for this fucking bottle. Look at you crazy. So it's like, it's that, but that energy and that attitude. Like, think about it. You're not about to have bottle wars without us.
Yeah, without us.
You can't possibly pull that off with a group of white businessmen, and it's just not.
Even like my white homies, my white Jewish homies, my white Italian homies that go to the club and buy, they're not having bottle wars. Like, they're buying 2 bottles. Yeah. We getting a bottle of Tito's and like a bottle of Jaeger.
I remember seeing something when Jeezy dropped TM103. Apparently he had something and it was like he bought 103 bottles.
Yeah.
Man, he could have just got a billboard. Like, what
get
the
that
fuck?
Shit from BMF,
yeah, like.
I'm hungry.
I'm starving.
For sure.
Y'all ready?
Came ready to eat.
Set us up. Yeah, I'm ready to eat too. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your girl Amber Green, y'all.
We got TRPE in the building. My man Matt, my man Chad. We be right back. Let's go.
Bong.
It's our favorite part of the show.
That's your favorite?
Yes, sir. Ah, chef, what you got cooking?
You already know.
Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth. It's Cooking Up 215, and it's my favorite part of the show. It's time to get into that food. We got my man Chef D with us. Chef D.
What's going on?
My man, I appreciate you coming through. Listen, tell everybody what you got for us today.
So tonight we got Thai glazed salmon. It's paired with red bliss mashed potatoes and roasted asparagus.
And it's smelling good.
Yeah, it tastes good too.
The fresh sauce, the fresh salmon, that thing looking amazing. Is the flour edible?
You can get it.
Yeah.
Straight from Thailand.
Oh man, we outside an imported mill right now. Okay. All right. So, what do you do as a chef? Like, what type of offers? I mean, what type of things do you offer?
Well, right now, currently, I'm doing a lot of catering, a lot of private dinners. Okay. I go back and forth between here and Miami. I do restaurant consultant. So some restaurants that's not doing too good, they call me in to figure out the kinks and what they got going on with their restaurant. I try to help them get it back together and increase their income.
Damn, so you are saving bars.
Trying to.
Get you a show, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to. Make it happen.
Yeah, that's hard. That's super hard. That's crazy. They call you to rescue the situation.
Come on, man. We don't need Ramsey.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We got Chef D outside.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let everybody know where they could find you, how they could get a meal themselves, or if they want to book you to come cater something.
Yeah,
like
so on IG and Facebook, you can find me at dnice_meals_215. It's the same on all platforms. It's pretty simple how to book me. It's in my bio, the information there. You basically fill out a form. I have somebody contact you, and then we just go from there.
That's dope. And you bring us these pure joints, Pure Fuel?
Yeah, Pure Fuel. That's my man Staff and his partners, Doobie. They got this Pure Fuel. It's a hydration drink. It's no added sugar. It's plant-based. And I mean, I grew up under Staff, you know what I mean, from my hood. So I try to show them love as much as I can.
That's hard, man. Listen, city supporting the city.
Of course.
That's the only way we could do it.
Of course.
We gotta support each other, show that love.
Of course.
So listen, man, I appreciate you. We're gonna get into the two. You already know how we do. We're gonna let you know how this thing hitting.
Yeah.
I already know where it's gonna be at.
Yep. And my slogan is you deserve to eat good. That's for everybody. Whether you're homeless, whether you're rich, you halfway, middle class, we all deserve to eat good.
Facts, yo. So we about to eat good.
Let's go.
My man Chef D.
Appreciate you.
It's your boy Smooth. It's Cooking Up 215. Let's get back to the show. Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your girl Amber Green.
Listen, we still here with my guys from TRPE. My man
What up?
Diddy. My man Matt. And it's time to get into that food. Y'all know this is my favorite part. My man Chef D Nice, man, he came through. He blessed us with the asparagus, with the Thai chili sauce. He did the Thai chili sauce all by itself. You know what I'm saying? Just so it had its own flavor. Like, it didn't even get put with nothing else. Just straight Thai chili, so it ain't tainted by some asparagus. None of that. It's special. It's time, y'all. Pick the forks out. What y'all
He's taking the forks out.
Yeah, like,
Because that was very DJ Khaled-ish.
Sweet Thai salmon.
This little flour ain't edible, is it?
It is.
You said straight from Thailand.
You said it was.
You said that flour was straight from Thailand.
Shoot, the salmon hitting full.
That salmon hitting. That
Wow.
thing is
Yeah, it's actually really good.
So,
That flavor.
Yeah, once I put it in the air fryer, it was over.
listen, this salmon hit 'em. You know, some people overcook the salmon, it turn into a brick. And remind y'all, you know, we shooting, so the joint ain't as hot as it should be. But this thing, everything. Straight as is. When you can fuck food up while it's still a little chilly,
Definitely.
it's a win. It's a win.
It's so moist.
You know what I mean? It's that joint when you come in, you was out all night at the club, Still got your plate?
Throw that 30 seconds.
Yeah, you just fuck that
45
joint straight up.
seconds.
You ain't got to
You
wait.
said you don't fuck with the microwave though.
When you drunk, man, you got to do what I do. When you drunk, you don't give a fuck when you drunk.
Anything's possible.
But if I'm sober, I care about my health a little bit.
The microwave really is like a
Carcinogen?
a what?
Carcinogen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you know she
went
a nurse, so she
SAT.
gonna pull you out. She gonna pull them words out on it.
That just means it's
That drunk,
cancerous.
yeah, it's
That's really
cancerous.
good, man. Shout out Chef
It's
Good Night.
cancerous.
The microwave is just, you know, we older, so we grew up on it. You know, it's like your go-to. Me personally, I'll put anything in the air fryer though. Literally anything.
Yeah, the air fryer is where it's at. I feel like the microwave, that shit just straight. You just lazy. Just give it the extra 5 minutes. If you put in the air fryer,
Right.
a little extra 5 minutes,
Right.
it's a little safer for you, better for your health.
It's gonna taste better.
Yeah,
more
it's gonna
importantly.
taste better. That's my main thing too. Like if you put bread in the microwave, that shit shot the shit.
And the
That
air
bread is
fryer is so
soggy,
easy
hard.
to use. It got an individual setting for whatever you
everything.
trying to do.
Yeah.
Everything not meant to be fried though.
Cause it don't really fry it though. If you use the right temperature, it just keeps the texture of the original, the meal. Like, you know what I mean? Put your cheesesteak in the air fryer. Your bread gonna have a little crisp to it. Put your cheesesteak in the microwave. Bread hard as hell.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I
You
mean?
do it too long, you do get
30
hard.
seconds of bread.
Everything's not meant to be air fried, but
But it
all
is.
that.
But it is.
I'm putting that shit in there.
Listen,
Only thing I ain't made in the air fryer yet was eggs. That's next.
you know what's crazy? I just remember, I was thinking about, cause my kids, they was using the joint or something. And I was just thinking like, damn, back in the day, my dad really used to make us make hot dogs in the microwave. You ain't never wrap a hot dog in a paper towel, wet paper towel, and put it in the microwave?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
yeah, that's real.
Man, we could use the water in Philly back in the day, man. You could boil them joints. Like, straight up.
That's when you know you lazy as shit. You ain't had time. You ain't gonna wait for it to boil you.
That's
Pop
actually
that bitch
more
in there
time
for 1
consuming.
minute.
Yeah, you
couldn't use
you
the
add
stove,
2
that
minutes
was
at a
cool.
time to the microwave for 14
Listen, I'm
minutes.
telling
Like, you
you.
could have just put this on the stove.
That
dog.
joint be frozen. You wrap it in a wet tissue. Put that thing in the microwave. You got like 1 to 2 minutes. You got a hot dog or a sausage, whatever your choice.
Do you have a
is.
favorite struggle meal from when you was a kid?
cereal?
Hot dogs and pork and
It's not
beans.
struggle meal. That's
That was
struggle.
it,
Hot dogs and pork and beans.
Hot dogs and pork and beans?
I remember I was having a conversation with my girl one day, and she was like, "No, when we used to eat the tuna helper, I'm like, oh, we wasn't that."
Oh yeah. Listen, when I was a young one, my mom made tuna helper like one time, and that's when I knew like
Tuna don't need no help.
It did.
You don't need no help, tuna.
I'm like, yo, is that mayonnaise? Like, what am I tasting? Like,
why is it hot?
mayonnaise, fish, what? Noodles?
Mayonnaise fish.
What is this?
There you go.
Yo,
And
tuna.
my mom had to have a closed door meeting after that. I was like 12.
Talk to you,
I
mom.
mean, let me step into my office, man. Like,
No.
I don't know what was going on before you got home, but like, why this?
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna hold you. My favorite shit is good. I almost bought it recently, but I'm just like, I can't do it to myself. You remember them Salisbury steaks?
Oh my God. I hated them fucking
I was in the
Salisbury
supermarket and they was 10 for 10. I see them drinking like, yo, I ain't had a Salisbury steak in years. When we was kids, we used to fuck them joints up,
steaks.
dog.
Hated them joints. That's when you knew it was real.
Remember the fake riblets? That was when we was really killing it that week.
I like the chicken parm joints. Those was my joints. Those was my favorite
I was telling
ones.
him we was at dinner about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I've had chicken parm like twice in my whole life. I just never.
Never got into it.
The thought of like all that sauce on fried chicken with
same.
cheese, it just like
Yeah.
he a chicken parm motherfucker.
I made chicken parm the other day.
Yeah.
I make my chicken parm with grilled chicken instead
Yo,
of
I was about to say, I did that
instead
grilled
of
chicken.
battering it or whatever. I do it with
I
grilled
think I would
chicken.
like it more.
Because we was
grilled.
trying to be,
Yeah.
we trying to be a little healthy, you know,
Yeah.
watch the figure. So it was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grill it, you know, for the kids and shit. So we did the grilled chicken, put the Parmesan cheese and all that shit on it.
sound
Yeah.
about
That shit was hitting.
Yeah, I get the fresh like the Bellagio, like the expensive Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
I get like 3 different kinds. I get the shredded. Then I get like the flakes, and then
Yeah.
I'll buy like fresh mozzarella or whatever.
I'm
and
trying
then,
to go to your crib.
Yeah, no, it's serious.
That
It
nigga
gets
got expensive cheeses.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like $6 a bag. It's serious.
Yeah, that's real. I went to fucking what is that? Redden Terminal.
Yeah.
Had some different kind of noodles, some different cheeses.
Yeah.
Nigga,
It
Are you
changes
from
the
are
experience.
you from Philly?
Yeah,
Okay.
Born and raised. Yeah,
The way you said
know.
Renton Terminal, like it was this mythical place.
Because for me,
I went to that
I literally just started going to Renton Terminal this year, bro. Like, I literally just started getting the food from down there. I'm one of them niggas that always just ate in the neighborhood. I'm from Uptown, so we had Paganos.
Oh, yeah, y'all don't cross Wissahickon.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We're not going downtown and shit like that. I'm just doing all that.
You're like, do what?
If they gotta take a step past Einstein, they like, fuck.
Yeah, that shit is like.
They gotta get like Black and Darrow to sign a permission slip to leave Uptown or something like that.
You get girls out of safe to travel into the city.
Nowhere.
Because when you over there, everything is so fucking far. It's like 45-minute ride. It's literally like being out the city. So even from here, I don't ride to Uptown like that. Like, it gotta be a real reason.
I went to high school Uptown. I went to Central. So I was taking 9 trolleys and the sub and all that to come up there. And you know, we would Southwest West Philly niggas, we'd travel anywhere. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will not leave Uptown.
Yeah. You get motherfuckers that don't just. It's like that here too. You got them people that we like native to our area, don't leave the area.
We always talk about how parochial Philly is. Like motherfuckers just will not leave.
They just stay where they at. Like you got North Philly niggas that just don't leave North Philly. Like they don't even come to West Philly.
They don't even know what it's their section of North. Like niggas that's from
3 block
from one side from West Abroad don't leave that side. Niggas from East Abroad don't leave that side. Like it's crazy.
That's real shit. That's real.
Let me ask you this. It's been going on. I don't know if you've seen all this cheesesteak war shit that's going on.
I was back.
Yeah, it's been going crazy. Who got the best cheesesteaks in Philly?
The best cheesesteaks in Philly. You think Ishkabibbles? I think they got the best chicken cheesesteak.
Okay.
But not the best regular cheesesteak.
It depends on what type of steak you like. If you like that real Angus beef, your answer's gonna be different than mine. I don't like the real super Angusy shaved beef.
Like you like it super chopped, like
yeah. I like it more tastes more like a steak.
I like Gems, but 62nd Street Gems, like when they had the Gems down there.
Yeah.
Like
They've been closed for a minute, right?
Yeah, they remodeled.
Yeah, the joint in Springfield is trash. I've gone there several times trying to like get my Gems fixed. It is not the same.
That is not. I don't know why they did that.
They don't even melt the cheese.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. That's like shit.
It's funny because you brought up me driving the bus, and that was a question I constantly get with tourists. Like, where can I go? Like, how do I get the patch?
Yeah, the first thing they ask you about the cheesesteaks.
And they would always, and I would tell them like,
I hate when they mention patch.
Yeah, I do too. But I like white people get on the bus and they'd be like, where can I get the best cheesesteak? I'd be like, listen, this is Poppy's store in Allegheny. All right, you ain't going there.
Yeah, take your gun.
Yeah, you might die. But I'm telling you, there's a Poppy's store up there that's good. But all jokes aside, Ishkabibbles is right there. Ishkabibbles is like always good. Like I never go there and get a bad steak. But I'm going to gyms and gotten a bad one.
Me too.
I went to, was it Phillips down South Philly on some random shit. Yeah, and oh my God. I asked for the, I was like, yeah, can I get a cheesesteak, salt, pepper, ketchup, light mayo, fried onion? She was like, and that's just the way I eat cheese. I don't know how everybody else kind of get freaky. Salt, pepper, ketchup, light mayo, fried onions. And she was like, the mayo's out there. And I'm like,
oh no!
What the fuck? There's a big ass jar of mayonnaise on the jar. I was like, it's cool, man. Never mind.
It's a clear bad sign when you gotta put your own shit on your cheesesteak.
My thing is, I'm like, are y'all gonna put the cheesesteak in a cup before I can put the mayonnaise on the bread? I was like, what the fuck? And it's crazy the way like different people eat that type. Now, me personally, I don't like the cheese whiz shit. Like I hate that. I like American cheese that's like burnt. Like I want it to be like melted in the shit. Like I hate even laying it on the you know what I mean?
Yeah, at the end.
It's very, very strange. But it's a joint I saw the other day. People was posting it. It looked real good. It's 2 words. Of course I can't think of the name because we on air or whatever.
What, a cheesesteak?
Yeah.
Was it like with the seeded roll?
Seeded roll.
Is it John's roast pork?
No, not John's roast pork.
I can't think of the name of it either, but I seen it too. I'm like, I gotta go get me one of them joints.
Right.
Yeah, John's roast pork in South Philly has an amazing cheesesteak, and keep in mind they cook it on.
They was number
grill.
2 on the list.
Yeah, John's roast pork is amazing. They got the seeded rolls and all of that old stuff. They real good. Del Rossi's on like 3rd and Spring Garden is underrated. That's like one of my late night spots. They open until like 4 in the morning. They got good cheesesteaks. And Ishkabibbles too. You just gotta keep Ishkabibbles in the rotation.
Yeah, I think Ishkabibbles got the best chicken cheesesteak. Like,
nah, that chicken, I'd be like
to a joint.
Choking like that. Yeah, that dry ass chicken.
Because everybody chunks. I like the chunks. See, everybody else they dice that shit up too much. No longer
can't do the chunks.
A chicken cheesesteak to me. Now it's like a regular cheesesteak. Like it don't hit the same. you need the chunks of the chicken, and they put the spinach or your green pepper, whatever you need. Like they hit them joints off perfectly. And the fries be good.
Yeah, my main thing I get from Ishkabil, I get either a chopped cheeseburger or a chopped turkey burger. Cheeseburger.
Oh, they do the chopped cheese?
Yeah, they've been doing that for years.
Some New York type shit.
They've been doing that.
It looked like it was listed as that.
Yeah, I'll get like a chopped turkey burger, American cheese, broccoli, salt, pepper, ketchup.
They come on a roll.
On a roll, long roll.
Yeah,
yeah. That's the like the off book Ishkabil's menu.
Yeah, yo. If you know, you know.
You know. Yeah.
I can't find
I'm finna fuck around and find out.
My favorite spot, it actually just closed last week, was Doc's Deli.
Oh yeah, and I used to live on that block. I used to live 71 Hartley Road right there.
Lansdowne. They closed, and I always say, like, I know this is gonna sound nuts, but when it comes to a cheesesteak, I feel like the best ingredient to like good cheesesteaks is the place has to be a little filthy.
You come from the hood.
Yeah, like because I'm like the way.
Like when I go in those cheesesteak places and everything is new and they got lights and TVs. It's this saying that like I like going in there and the motherfucking cook is doing shit like, like you need that shit for the authentic feel.
Like you go in Max's, there's 4 teeth behind the whole counter. What you mean, nephew? The whole nobody behind the counter got teeth. It's 4
with a little whiff of English.
Yeah. But you know that joint cooked with love.
That's for real though.
Yeah,
like you can't get that on the main line.
Max's though, because Max's do got some good.
Max's got some good work.
Max's go in and out.
And it depends on
the thing is like you go to
Yeah.
Max's and it's like it's a triple shooting across the street. So it's like that's drawing because you can't park. Like it's just too much on that corner at times.
Yeah,
I'm from Southwest Penrose and Falone's used to be the shit. And it made me think on my childhood, like when Falone's was really it, their main cook, we used to call him the Crypt Keeper, because he looked just like the Crypt Keeper. That was how he looked. And he only had one leg, so they should like have to help him to the grill. But once he got there, it was on. Once he got planted, it was on. And it's just like, you need a little bit of that. Like I respect, good looking chefs and shit, you know what I'm saying? That's healthy and shit, but it's just like, man, he lose a leg, he gonna be the best. I'm telling you, like, straight up, dog. Like certain situations, especially when it comes to like the cheesesteak thing, it's so Philly for it to just be like prepared in this dungeon with this beat up.
You gotta have some culture to it.
You need some struggle in the recipe.
You need some struggle to it. That's what they be missing, the struggle. Because Fats and Geno's ain't got no struggle in it. They shit is straight too clean. It's like a sheet of steak. I be like, yo, who's sending y'all here? Who's telling y'all this shit is good?
I was watching a thing yesterday where they were showing one of them cheesesteak places and they were like shaving the actual ribeye. And it's like, that's cool and all, but me personally, I don't like that shaved that thick slices of meat where you just gonna fold it over and throw some whiz. I'm cool.
It's no longer a cheesesteak.
That's a sandwich. That's a sandwich.
That's a steak sandwich.
Yeah, I don't want to.
And a couple of those spots don't even cut the damn sandwich. They just
That's the worst thing. Fucking break this down. What else about to do?
I remember I was driving a bus and I was starving. It's like this when we was doing the Republican National Convention or whatever. So I parked on like 16th Street with the Steve Princess of Steaks, and I went in there and they gave me the cheesesteak. I'm starting to drive back down the street. I got a bus full of Republicans and shit, and I went to open the steak and the shit wasn't cut, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Now I'm driving with this big ass sandwich.
Pause. 2 hands.
driving the bus with your knee.
With your knee on the high. Like, no, man. I can't fuck with the steak sandwiches gonna get cut, man. That's a bad joke.
Yeah.
He's driving the bus
with your knee.
You playing the fucking flute.
Like, you there, white man. Grab the wheel.
Grab the wheel, playboy. Leave my dinner over there. Like, that shit real.
They probably don't even think about that because there's reasons you need that joint cut down.
Yeah, it's inconvenient.
Right.
You might be trying to
You're not even going to eat that whole joint. Yeah, so it's like, I'm going to take this half, this other half for tomorrow, later, you know what I mean? You fuck up the whole situation when you don't cut that joint. Now I rip it and it's all uneven and fucked up.
Yeah, I got 1/3 here, 2/3 here.
Half the bread from the other side on this side.
That shit crazy.
Yeah, yo, that.
All right, I got one more. I can do this food shit all day. How do y'all feel about what brunch has become in the urban community?
I seen this post you made about niggas just putting everything on waffles except what the fuck go on it. And that shit was so funny.
Yo, I went to a brunch and it was just like, it was everything but like, I'm like, yo, can I get some butter?
That shit be hot sauce.
Yo,
Polynesian sauce.
Alfredo, like,
We got some Chipotle Alfredo syrup over there.
and I say it all the time, like niggas in they taste buds at times be like, it be like too much.
Yeah.
Motherfucker be like, yeah, you know, this brunch spot popping, and you get there and it's like, you know,
Seafood and shit.
Thai chili pancakes. Like why? Like why? It just, but the whole overall experience of what, like, you know, brunch is a mixture of lunch and breakfast. So it's like, why are y'all on the table? Why are we doing bottle service? Like it's gotten so away from what
You talking them other brunches?
They want money,
Hollywood
it's all about
brunches,
the money, yeah.
the rooftop brunches.
them DJ Khaled brunches.
They gonna
With
be in
the
Philly.
hookah for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much you said the hookah was at the brunch the other day? A bean.
Nigga, I just paid. I went to the joint Mimi's on with the Old City.
Yeah.
That shit was 70 bombs. I was a little upset about that.
Like, yo, I'm about to go get some cigarettes. Y'all playing games.
Niggas told me.
Don't give me a black and mild nephew.
Like, yeah. Real shit.
Go give me a black one time from down
$70,
there.
bro. Like you can do a lot with $70. I'm talking about like that's like a round of drinks. This is a couple for a hookah.
For a hookah.
Yeah,
$70, $80
And
a
was
bean.
it like a high end one at least?
It's a regular fucking hookah. It was passion fruit. It didn't have no orange on top. No
Yeah.
pineapple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
shit
extra.
creative.
That's
Yeah,
extra.
no, that was the flat. This is the regular joint.
Yeah,
This
you
is-
want the base model.
Yeah.
You want the
Base model,
GT
yeah.
charger. All right, cool.
Yeah, this is
$70.
base model. No nothing in the water. No ice. No nothing. No
Miami
special
prices,
holes.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Motherfucker,
nah,
$70.
It's just gotten way too out of control.
But their clientele over there, isn't it like
Little
uppity?
upscale. I don't know. It's old city. It's like I feel like when you're in Philly, it is some places that are like that, but then a lot of these places like look like that.
Yeah.
The clientele is still just niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's still just niggas. Like,
And I like maybe a lot. Me and Dan actually went there and ate last week. We got late lunch, early dinner, whatever. But it's like fake nice in there. It's like if I start peeling at this wallpaper,
Yeah,
this
like-
shit's coming down.
somebody did a good Etsy job in that joint. You know what I mean? They made this shit look real nice.
It's right on 2nd Street.
Right across from Blue Martini. Like a
Exactly.
little bit further down.
Okay.
Yeah, the hip Asian spot all the girls be having their birthday dinners at now and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You find your favorite little model in there time to time, and
I got into a conversation the other day with like one of my homies about restaurants, and he was like, because he just went to Turks and Caicos, and he was talking about how bad the food was in Turks and Caicos, and
The whole Caribbean minus Jamaica, the food is terrible.
yeah, Bahamas, I wasn't impressed at all.
Yeah. No.
Like, and we were talking on the show about how you realize when you go to these other places, you go to other cities, countries. Philadelphia has a really, really good food scene.
And it's diverse.
And it's
Sure,
diverse.
sure.
We have a so I was explaining to him like all these restaurants, and he's just like, God damn, say it like, because they really don't, they just don't know.
Right.
Like, and then not even with Philly, because all niggas know is downtown. We've got Radnor, Villanova, Ardmore, Wynwood, you got Trevose, you got so many different places that have so many different restaurants.
Yep.
So we got into a conversation of like, what's your favorite restaurant? You know what I'm saying? So I started like saying things I like. Let me ask you this. Do you have a favorite restaurant?
I just have like a go-to. I don't really have like a favorite, like this is my high class, nice spot. I like Longhorn.
I like Longhorn too.
I went to Longhorn the other
Can't
night.
go wrong with it.
I feel like that's
People
my,
have
that
this
is my go-to
For
spot.
the money, Longhorn cannot be beat.
Yeah,
For the
you're gonna
money.
get a great
You're gonna
fucking
get a
taste of steak.
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
Some
gonna be
good
full.
bread.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they don't stop. They bring
They don't fuck around. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They do you right.
We went to Longhorn the other night on a random joint. We went to Longhorn. I had a fucking 9-ounce filet and a lobster tail. She had all her shit. We had drinks. Bill came. The bill was $89. I'm like, this is a good joint. That's one hookah.
Shit like that.
So it's like, yeah,
that's
like
crazy.
I think when it comes down to, it's funny how we look at restaurants a little different now to where, older. Because I was telling him that when I was young, Red Lobster was like
Your shit, yeah.
like your mom coming in like, yo, we going to Red Lobster. You like, who graduated? It's January. Like, the fuck is going on outside? But now we've gotten to the point where I think, especially with our culture, and I hate to be this guy, these restaurants, especially these one-offs, not necessarily the chains, but like you see these restaurants that pop up every like 5 months, that's the new place to go to because of what Instagram and shit says. They kind of cater to this like grand experience of life. And then you get there and you just like, the food really ain't that. I'll be honest with you.
They get everything right except the food.
I went to Carbone recently and I wasn't overly impressed.
As much as they hyping it up.
As much as all you hear in the raps, and I went and I was just like,
a lot of people
kind of like Maggiano's a little bit. Like, it's not
expensive Maggiano's.
Now, then I told you I went to Komodo and I thought that shit was excellent. Like, it's
Komodo
in Miami.
Where's that? Oh, Miami.
It's in Brooklyn, Miami.
It's one of David Gluckman's restaurants.
Like, no bullshit. That's
phenomenal.
the best restaurant I've been to in like the last probably year.
I went to the joint where all the experiences, the big forks and all the.
Oh my God, Barton G.
Barton G.
Yo,
Barton G is trash.
I let one of my friends he just.
Like
no,
the food was cool.
No, I didn't make it to the food. I left. Yeah, I can't deal with this shit. I let one of my homies talk me into going there, and you remember because I did the whole breakdown on the podcast. I got there with my girl, and I'm talking about it was like going to Instagram. Like if Instagram was a place.
Are you at Instagram headquarters?
Yeah, you in Instagram. Remember when Dave Chappelle went to the internet? It was like going to Instagram. Everything they bring you, the waitress like, want to get your picture with that? And you're just like, it ain't that serious, man.
It's all about
It's all about the influencer life and just. It's too much. The tables are as big as this little. They little as shit, and it's like when you bring me a 4-foot fork, it's no room. So you sitting there holding this big ass fork.
They show like, we want to put the popcorn maker for the damn popcorn chicken. We want to put the popcorn maker
in the toaster neck.
Yeah, it was just way too much. We
They
straight
definitely
left.
Take that shit straight over the top.
After the appetizer, I was just like, yeah, I ain't even gonna do dinner. I'm just gonna slide. We literally.
But you know who one of those places that you're talking about where the food though, I feel like the food is actually great. Steak 48.
Listen.
Steak 48.
I said it the other day, and I know
the hype is real.
Yeah,
we were part of the whole Steak 48 going viral thing with the whole $100. Remember the $100 minimum shit?
Yeah,
that was our post that wound up on the
Twitter,
news and all that shit.
I had a couple of joints go viral.
Yeah. And when I went the first time, I kind of went hard on Steak 48 because I wasn't impressed at all. And they hit my girl up. They sent us a gift card for like $400. Yeah. So it was like, all right, we got a free gift card. We should go back. We went that time. It was like they knew, like, yo, that nigga here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's in the building.
Yeah, get on your A game. Like, tighten up.
Green light in the back.
Everything was amazing. And every time I've gone since, we went a couple weeks ago, just on a random. Like, we was all downtown, me, him, a couple other homies. And we was like, yo, let's go to Steak 48. We went, and, you know, Steak 48 is one of the places where if you order this food at like Longhorn, your bill is $120. Right. You order this food at Steak 48, it's $1,100. And you're just like, what the fuck did we order? So it's like, it's expensive, but it was amazing. They don't miss now.
The bread, the fried lobster,
everything,
the fried deviled eggs, all that shit. Just
the steak with the truffle butter.
And the steak was
truffle butter
on point.
Everything.
A lot of people fuck up with me because the steak it's a steakhouse. How are you not getting this right? Like this is what you supposed to do.
Exactly.
That's why I rather Longhorn. Like I go to places I should have just went to fucking Longhorn. Longhorn, this shit would have been juicy. It'd have been straight and it'd have been huge for like $30.
And that's a thing when you spend that kind of money. You know, you go out for dinner service, and you know we've gone everywhere. We actually have a thing on our Patreon with like our favorite. It's like 30 restaurants that we put together just for like this for that, this
like
for this
64.
occasion. Actually, yeah, I was about to say 34, about 64. But we just like because people look to us for that type of stuff because we real like restaurant aficionados. When you go out and you spend $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, you know you can go to places and that bill can get retarded.
Yeah.
And you spend that kind of money, you want to. Like me personally, I'll knock my fucking socks off. Don't even have me questioning y'all back. I hate to get to a place of like, can I see the manager or like that's ridiculous. When you go to like how I spoke about Komodo I literally hit him after the advertisers like, well, you did your thing. Like you have outdone yourself. Amazing. So putting that money out, and then you get to that feeling where you just like, man, we could have went to motherfucking.
Yeah.
You start finding, man, we could have went to Perkins. Like you just start saying anything. Shit you don't even go to, man. We could have went to Dairy Queen for real. Like, so yeah, like as far as restaurants in the city though, Steak 48 is like
top of the charts.
Yeah.
they're the top of the charts.
I've been to on a national scale. I've been to North Shret, both of them. The Salt Bay restaurant.
Okay.
I went to the one in Miami and I went to the one in LA. Had two completely different experiences at both. The one in Miami was amazing. He was actually there. He came and cut my steak.
He did that.
Yeah, he fed my girl steak, not me. get that meat out my face. But
open up,
but that was great, and it was like probably spent like $900 for two people for dinner service, a bottle of champagne, like the whole nine. It was our birthday, all that cool shit.
Right.
Went to LA, completely different experience. Awful. Like I think they tried to poison me with like the butter and the grease. I left that joint and was like keeled over in my car for like 45 minutes. Spent the same amount of money, ordered the same thing, same restaurant, different coast. Awful.
Now I will say this: in Philly, I'd probably go Steak 48. Outside of Philly, but still in America. What was the joint we went to in Beverly Hills?
Mashrooms.
Bro, the penthouse shit.
That's good.
That shit was excellent.
Yeah.
Never been there.
Excellent.
Their steak is good.
And I know they
Excellent.
got that new one, the JG Sky joint. Never been there. I went to R2L.
Overrated.
when that
Super
joint was a good
overrated.
joint.
I'm gonna keep it above with you.
R2L had like the good, like, what's that, lobster mac? Shit, that was alright.
They closed down?
50th.
Yeah. They closed down a couple years ago.
What's the nickname everybody has for JG? Four Seasons.
Yeah, it's
The-
in 4 seasons.
JG is probably the most overrated joint in the city.
Is it? Yeah, I never went. That's the thing. I try to not chase them.
We went for brunch, right? We did a brunch / lunch joint. Our bill was $2,000.
Like 9 or 10 people.
It was 8 of us.
8 of yeah. 8
I'm
people.
about
to
to
say, that
you
just
two
too.
niggas.
No, not just us two. No.
What did you order?
Yeah, the big four. Like, nah.
And a hookah.
But it was 8 of us. And a hookah, right? You get a hookah at JG, that shit gonna be $600. But it was 8 of us, and the bill was 2 racks, and it was just like we all kind of left like. Yo, that Wawa still down the street? Like everybody was kind of on that. Yeah. When you going to Wawa to get one of them slimy ass quesadillas, you just spent $2,000. That shit is not
bad.
You know the Wawa quesadilla be running. Like when you going to get that after the $2,000, it's just like
When you make that
I
Wawa
remember I
run,
had a
it's like
similar
the last
experience
choice.
like that. I went to this restaurant, and I hate to say it because they black owned. I went to Friday, Saturday, Sunday a few years ago, and I'm just like sitting there eating my food, and I'm like, this chicken don't taste like chicken. Like I don't know what's going on, and the waitress see my face, and she just keep coming back like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, but I'm gonna figure it out." Like
I don't want to be.
I don't want to be that guy. I'm like, you know what? Y'all don't really have a lot on the menu. I can eat. It's a lot of pork and seafood on the menu. I'm gonna just tough it out with the chicken. Maybe it'll start tasting like chicken at some point. I ended up leaving there. Didn't eat my food. They was like, "You want to pack it up?" No. Give it to somebody out back. I left there and went to Lorenzo's. I left there and went and ate pizza at Lorenzo's and got a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is a waste of money. It's like $250 for dinner service. I ended up eating pizza afterwards.
That's the worst thing, bro. That's why you gotta go to Longhorn.
Gotta go to Long.
Gotta go to Longhorn.
Check reviews too before you go to places.
Yeah,
my thing with reviews.
They
be
don't
like,
always be on point.
like, people write reviews when they're
When they're
pissed.
mad. Yeah,
and I know
that's-
that from driving a bus. Motherfuckers only feel away when you don't wait for them. The 80 times you did wait for them, ain't nothing coming in. Ain't no
happy,
good,
don't complain.
ain't no good reviews. None of that shit. You don't wait for motherfucker. You got a fucking complaint. This line.
You right.
That's kind of how I look at reviews. Like it's very seldom that people feel good enough to go write a review.
Yeah, when you're happy, you're not
Because 9 times out of 10, you gonna go get food and it's gonna be like, that was cool. Mm-hmm. It's very rare.
Like, it gotta be super good. Like if it's super good, where a motherfucker feel like I gotta say something.
Yeah.
About
the experience has to be like over the top. Like even how you hear me talk about Komodo. And I've never gone and written a review. But had I gone to Komodo and the food been that good and they gave me like an autographed Kobe jersey, now it's like,
review time.
like, and that's kind of what you gotta do.
Y'all niggas on Yelp.
That's kind of what you gotta do in food service. You gotta like wow people.
Yeah.
Especially where we at now, where this post-COVID, everybody done gone to every goddamn restaurant. To where it's like, motherfuckers, like I told you back in the day, going to Red Lobster was like an accomplishment.
Yeah.
That was like a big, big feat.
Especially if you got real seafood. Like, you know, you used to look at the menu and like, can I get this? You allowed to get some good shit?
Yeah.
No, that's real.
And now, because of COVID and how hard it was to get dinner reservations and all of that shit, elite dinner reservations have turned into the new nightlife. So now you got all these restaurants doing all this experiential dining and then fucking the food up. Like, they got the show and the presentation part is immaculate. The decor, the bottle girls, they shaking ass. There's all this stuff going on except like the food.
I saw a place.
Poppy steak is terrible.
Yo,
Heard that.
yo.
It's trash.
Wow.
Poppy steak in Miami.
Yeah, it's like a real
it's
popular steakhouse.
trash.
Expensive.
I saw
It sucks.
I saw a place the other day in Dubai where, you know, Poppy Steak, when you order the $1,000 steak, they come out with the briefcase and they
That's
do the
what that
thing.
is?
And
Yeah, I seen
There's a
that.
place. There's a place in Dubai now where when you order the steak, a SWAT team brings it out. Did you see that? Like fully combat tactical gear rifles, they come out like making way for the steak to come out the kitchen, and they bring it to your table and do all this shit. And I'm just like, yo, are y'all gonna cook this joint medium well? Like, what the fuck? Like, we've gotten all of that now.
Yeah.
And we can forget to just make sure the mashed potatoes.
Everything
are
is
warm.
about a show for the phone. It's for the Instagram.
It's all for
'cause that's just
social
going to
media.
bring more people out. They just want the show.
People in general understand the internet real good now. And with that in mind, people just sit and they look, all right, what's working and what's traveling and what's going viral and this and this. So when I open my restaurant, I'm going to take elements of all these places and then I got 100,000 followers
Not
in
even
30
worried about
days.
the
Like,
ingredients.
Then we
no,
gonna put
fuck the food.
Then we gonna put this shit. We gonna put this shit in the air fryer and bring it right the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
But there's so many like restaurants and even like tourist locations that have been there, but now they took off when they start trending online.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, that's
internet
where we
is crazy.
live in that world right now. If
yeah.
you can get shit popping on Instagram, you're lit.
It's up.
Whether your service and all that shit is good or not, you lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even fucking Pats and Geno's probably, they mastered that shit before Instagram.
Right.
Because it was all word of mouth about their shit.
Yeah.
The cheesesteaks, we know they the worst.
Yeah.
Niggas don't stop going though. You know what I mean? They got
Well,
the
what it
whole South Philly.
is they basically created the tourist aspect.
they got
of-
that whole-
I call it the Rocky statue aspect, where
Bang.
I had to explain this one day to somebody white on the bus. She was like, "Oh, can you direct us to the Rocky statue?" And I'm like, "Why do y'all? I gotta. Why do y'all want to go to the Rocky statue?" And she's like, "Because Rocky's an American icon and just what he's standing." I'm just like, you know, Rocky ain't real. That's a movie. That's not a real
The statue's
person.
not even in the same spot it was.
Like, Sylvester Stallone was a Shylock from South Philly. He was picking up gambling bets and ended up fighting the world champion. It's like, I don't know how the fuck these people got like that, but that's what it is. Where it's like, it's one of them things where if you go to Philly,
you gotta do.
You gotta go to like Pat's or Geno's. Yeah. Almost like going to Nathan's in Coney Island. Or going to, what's the slushy John on Ocean Drive? Wet Willie's. How that was like
Randy's Donuts
and
in
it's
Inglewood.
like Wet Willie's is a icy, but you gotta
with
go.
green liquor.
It's
in
a
it.
icy with
It's a bottom lane.
It's a icy with Armadale in it.
Yeah, bathtub liquor.
Yeah, but you gotta do it. And it's like one of them things where that's what they kind of like mastered.
Right.
We are culture to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Whether or not we're good doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But we are part of the
part of the
Philadelphian
now,
culture.
yeah.
They figured that out. And there are certain things in the city where, for us as blacks, they kind of hold that same thing. Where you look at like Little Delicious in Southwest, or Jamaica D's up here in Uptown. There are certain things like that. For look at the Jerk Chicken Man. You know, like there are still like think about Saudia now. With like y'all see it's like
you
they
gotta
don't
go
and they still debating on whether or not it's good. That don't matter. I'm part of culture.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened with Pat's and Geno's. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, you know, y'all done made y'all stand. Y'all part of the culture podcast in Philly, you know what I'm saying, and other places. Tell me, what do TRP got coming up? Where do y'all see yourselves going in the future with the brand and everything like that?
I see Lambo trucks. You know what I'm saying? That's just it.
I like the Ferrari truck.
Yeah, just some mild, little yellow Lambo truck. Nothing crazy. But it's weird because I can't speak for him, but I know for me, when we started this, I didn't really see all of this. That's you know, like be honest, I really didn't even really. I'm not gonna say I didn't want to do it, but I kind of was just like.
Didn't understand.
Yeah, I was like, he was like, yo, we gotta do a podcast. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, No, you don't understand. What happened was I tore my Achilles. So I was out of work, 2014. And he lived down the street from me. Like we all lived like on the same little corridor. And I just moved up there. He was up there. And then naturally, we see like he talked about Mikey's. That was when I first actually met you. Coming to Mikey's and shit with my homies and he's in there and I'm a thought. So I'm drinking them big dumbass towers and shit. Yeah. And we just got cool living down the street from each other. So we would kind of sit, smoke weed, and we would have conversations that were deeper than, if Floyd fought in the 70s, would he be better than Ali? Stupid shit like that. We would have like how, it's funny, but all of y'all, we had a conversation impromptu about crypto and investing and S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. And it's like, that type of shit is different than what you get just on a normal level with African Americans, especially young people. You dig what I'm saying? And these are the conversations we would have. We would talk about investing and what's the next thing and how to flip sneakers and this. And he one day was just like, yo, our conversations are like insanely good. I started a group chat with him and my other homie Rod. Shout out Rod. He actually works for Spotify now. He's a professional gambler. Like he's he creates his own odds for sports, and he basically works for the Bill Simmons podcast and shit. But me and him, they knew each other through the party world because he was a DJ.
We actually got the same birthday too.
Their birthday is Wednesday, same exact birthday. So I created a group chat just because we all know each other, we cool, and we started having conversations every day about like just things. And he's like, yo, we gotta get this shit on wax. Like, we gotta get this shit recorded. And I'm just like, for what? And he was like, because like I see this podcasting thing like going. And mind you, this is 2015. Yeah. Because this was I popped my Achilles in 14, so it was like 15. So podcasting wasn't
a thing.
We knew of like internet radio, like the Foxhole and Patrice O'Neal, Opie and Anthony. He always talks about, what's your guys, the ones who you came into it on? Juan Epstein.
Yeah, Juan Epstein and Combat Jet.
Right. But we didn't know what podcasting was. And he was just like, yo, we got to do this. We got to do this. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. And I remember we found a studio to do it up Northeast. And I was thinking like, all right, yeah, I'll come do it. And I came up there, we did it. And the same way we talk in the group message, same way we talk in voice notes, same way we talk live, we do it on air. Like that shit we just all did about the food. That's random shit we would just have talking. We put it out. And even the engineer who worked in the studio was just like, yo, I recorded a lot of podcasts. For this to be y'all first joint, y'all are like really good. And we thought he was just capping because, we paying him.
You want your money,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then we came back into the second episode, and that was really good. And he was like, yo, last week, y'all actually were like the #2 most downloaded show on the network.
Yeah, I think our first show, we had like 14,000 downloads or something.
Yeah,
like that.
And we was just like, okay. We didn't really even think of what it was or what was going on. And he was telling us like, yo, you get to 11 shows, you're serious. You get to 25, you're legit. You get to 50, you're like a real live podcast. And y'all, I can see y'all, like y'all have a basis of what y'all are doing and knowing who y'all are. We came back the next week. Remember, I had an idea riding up there. The Migos were like on fire. And I was like, remember Donald Trump had just won the presidency and shit. And I was like, the Migos to me are more qualified to be the president than Donald Trump. So we did this episode called Migos for President, where we basically broke down how Migos as compared to Donald Trump, who would win basically almost like a versus as far as being the president of the country. And we like broke it down, all these different things. And the episode, I don't know, to this day, I still don't understand it, but within 30 days, it had been downloaded like 700,000 times. Yeah, it just
Straight audio, no video.
Straight audio, no video. It just straight, like literally we came back and they were like, yo, that episode got downloaded more times than like everything we've done here combined.
Damn.
And we was just like, the fuck?
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we have a restream in the Netherlands and Europe that corresponds with like drive time over there, where we restream your pre-recorded show, and apparently it's like quote on like wildfire like all through Europe. And I'm like, how did this happen? He's like, I don't know.
How did this happen?
We came back the next week and he was like, you guys got broadcast in like 33 countries last week. And we was like, yeah. So we were getting ready to record. And remember, Just was like, yo, go on iTunes, yo. And we was like, for what? He was like, look at this week's ranking. We were like I think it was 72.
On the iTunes
on the iTunes podcast chart.
Every podcast.
Number 72 across the board. And then he was just like, yeah, fuck all that 50 show shit I was talking about. Y'all are legit right now. He's like, y'all are legit now. And we kept doing our thing, and we started bringing in guests. Like our first show we had with guests was AO and a Nerd, and that show went crazy because it was the social media episode. We were just talking a bunch of social media shit.
2-part episode that was 5 hours.
It was a 5-hour podcast, and and we did that. Then we had Spank, we had Clint, we had Kurt, and we just started bringing up like our network of people on the show. We got to about, I'm gonna say like 30 episodes. We got theme music. We got like legit as far as like buying cameras and having video. And at this point, it's like, yo, we're kind of taking it serious. To where, remember, we weren't even creating rundowns. You know what I'm saying?
We just show up.
We would just show up
with like bullet points.
Bullet points. Just show up and just start talking. Let's just go, because that's some shit we can do because it's authentic.
Right.
We got to, I'm gonna say about 75 episodes, and the network wound up going under. Like they sold it to somebody else.
Yeah, to another network.
To another network that basically like, you know, took them on under their umbrella.
Right.
So they basically took over their RSS feed. We were still on that because we were on the network. Cool, we kept chugging along with them. Then they got so like tricky, they actually sold it to these people in Jersey. It was another studio out in it was a W.
Wildfire.
No, I'm talking about where it was at.
I
can't think of the little city.
I don't remember.
But they sold it to Wildfire. So now we were on their RSS feed. So boom, we're over there. We get to like 100 episodes. We get to, shout out to Kev. He was our 100th episode. We did with our attorney friend, Kev Harden. We got to about 135, 140 episodes. Then they went under and sold it back to these guys who had took over the old studio we were at the first time. So now we were at like 170, about 160, 170 episodes. And we basically was like, yo, okay, we've gotten 3 years in. We want to start doing things. We go to do our first live show. We do it at Punchline. Sold 250 tickets. And it was like a fun ass night. I'm like, yo, this shit was really a success. AO was there. It was terrible with him on stage, but
he got banned.
Yeah, he got banned. But that's neither here nor there.
The ban is lifted.
The ban is lifted, but because he's doing better in life. But it's like, yeah, we had this live show, and we were like, how can we make this profitable? So we started doing different things like ad integration. We started our Patreon. Our Patreon took off. What happened was the network saw what our Patreon was making and basically was like, they knew they couldn't sustain the bills and shit in the building. They basically wanted to make us like the equivalent of like an attorney becoming partner at a law firm. Like y'all become partners of the network, and then y'all basically have free reign. We'll build y'all a studio within the studio, but let us in on y'all money y'all got coming in. We just like, white nigga, no, we created
Like,
this.
this doesn't make any sense because they didn't do anything to participate in building the money, but they had access to seeing the money because they're editing our episodes and uploading them. So when they go in, they see like payouts like, you niggas made 7 bands this month? Like, give us $3,500 a month. We'll build you a studio in the studio. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, the rent here ain't $3,500 a month.
Right. So he literally he came to my crib and was just like, we gotta start our own shit. And I'm like, yeah, I've been kind of thinking that too. And he was just like, yeah, we can go buy all our own shit. We don't need the studio. We can literally build the studio. We can buy a roadcaster, buy mics, buy cameras, buy lights. We can do this shit ourselves. So we literally sat down and figured out how to do a soundboard, how to fucking structure this. Dan came on, shout out Dan, because he's been instrumental as far as the visual side of things. And we started our own RSS feed where we don't want to be on anyone else's RSS feed. We want our own standalone feed. The first episode we did on our own feed, because again, it's a brand new feed that we created. It had like what, 212 downloads or something crazy.
Like the first day, something like nothing.
It was like nothing because it was like we basically had to start from scratch.
It's not in all the
we didn't have the benefit of having like, all right, so through all these different mergers and acquisitions, they had the benefit of what's called an RSS redirect, where it's like, all right, Wildfire acquires New Media takes and points their RSS feed to Wildfire. So now whatever traffic was generated off this old feed, people don't have to resubscribe in order to get the new information. It's all integrated. We had to start from scratch. And
so
build our feed back up.
It's no longer there.
They could search us and they might find us, but they're not going to find an active feed until they subscribe to the new feed, because that old feed is dead.
So that's where we realized like, all right, cool. So we kept trucking along. We got our video shit together. We started bringing in better and bigger guests. We've literally had a who's who from the city, whether it's political, sports, music, entertainment, comedians.
Say cheese. Don't call me white girl.
Don't call me white girl. Mona, Barb from Tasties, Sean Cotton from Say Cheese,
Twice.
DJ A Boogie, my man Rod who does the sports betting. You name them.
Black Poppy, Louis V. Gunner.
Louis V, Bang Bang. Kev, Omar Tate, who's the chef of the year for Esquire and Time Magazine. Like we've done a who's who from the city, and
that's all right.
we kept trucking. We wound up doing our own independent tour last year, and we learned a lot about that. But we were able to sell out Brooklyn. We damn near sold out Virginia. We sold out Delaware. We sold out Philly twice, and then we culminated it all with our anniversary show this past year at Nodo, where we had 500 people there, and. We got to a point now where we just had like our biggest viral moment with Dr. Umar. We had him on the show. I think just hit 500,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, yesterday.
We had Core. We've just done a lot, and we got our banner a couple months ago for hitting 1 million on our own feed. Like 1 million downloads on our own feed.
From 2021 to now, we just hit 1 million. So now we had like 1.3 million straight audio on our own feed, and now we finally about to hit 1 million. 1 million streams on YouTube also because of this Umar episode. But then like Core did 20,000. We had clips with Chris Gotti John did 10,000, did 8,000, stuff like that. And we've been smashing TikTok for the last like 3 months.
I posted this clip of me talking about LeBron.
I seen that. You put that joint together though.
You freestyled it.
I was just talking. It was basically me just giving my synopsis on like LeBron's career and the moments he's had in his career. And we posted it on TikTok. It was a
multi-career joint.
We posted it on TikTok, and it got almost 500,000 views that day. And they wound up, people were spamming it so much that they took the sound off because I cursed. Jordan fans were spamming it. I cursed. They took the sound off. So he re-uploaded it. It's back at almost 500,000 views on the re-upload. The guy from Clutch Sports, shout out to him. He takes it. He takes it and puts the visual to it, and it's at 3 million views
on his page on Instagram.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got these moments that are just like traveling and going, and it's authentic. He's got a Jay Prince clip that's going. That's
75,000.
It's just
we had an Instagram clip last week with Maui that did 105,000 viewers.
It's just being authentically yourself and putting your stuff out there. And if you authentic, people can feel that. Exactly. It's just you can feel fake, you can feel authentic. You might lie to yourself, but that's who you lying to.
Exactly.
So
they can feel the energy and the vibe. Like you gotta keep it natural because they're gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna resonate the same way it resonated with you. If it don't feel right with you,
and we go through. The thing is with our podcast, we give ourselves with no boundaries, with no filters. I have my close friends say all the time, like, man, y'all talk about shit I would never talk about. And it just be like, but that's how your audience understands you and they become part of your lives because you share your lives with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've lost 200 pounds. I talked adamantly about the weight loss journey. We both talked about how we were fucked up financially and had to basically, we restarted our credit with the show. I talk about me starting with a $300 secure card to the point now I got platinum Amexes and shit. Like we talk about that, and it's like people come to me and like I told you, I had somebody come to me and was like, "Yo, listening to you talk about credit, it made me get on the ball." And I just got my first house. I got a house for my wife and kid just from listening to y'all podcast.
That's hard.
That like, and you realize like, yo, you become a vessel almost, like a voice. And that's the dopest part of this shit. And I tell him all the time, like I love him for this shit. Like he really put me in a position to like walk in my purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Didn't even know it was your purpose, and boom,
he could have gave me some heroin. Just like, let's go sell that. You know what I'm saying?
But like you ain't heard of him yet. This new rapper, ESTG from Louisville. I've been listening to him a lot.
You take this.
You gonna get rich. Fix your life.
Man. Stupid as shit.
Yeah, man.
But I gave him an opportunity because I saw what he didn't. And I saw where being a futurist, like I saw where this industry was going. And I'm just like, yo, these podcasts that I'm listening to are good. Combat Jack was excellent.
Look at Tax.
Juan Epstein was excellent. Taxstone was amazing. And he was a lightning rod. But I'm like, we can do this shit. Like, and we can do it like at a high level. We just gotta, because of who I already was, as far as like having name and face recognition in the city, I just knew we had to do it at a certain level in order for people to be like, you not on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like
To take it serious.
To take it serious.
You
So it's
gotta
like,
take it serious for them to take it serious.
exactly. So we had to present it in a way, and then once these accolades started coming, Roost Picnic, Overbrook Night Market, this and that, and it's like you start to see
we got acknowledged
stuff.
from the mayor's office 2 months ago.
Living Legends
Living
provision.
Legends, yeah. So you know, but yeah.
And they literally let me pick who went on the list.
Yeah, that's hard. But y'all, listen, bro. Y'all definitely inspiration to us.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank
I love
you,
what y'all
man.
do. You know what I'm saying? That's why we keep the door open. You know how we get down.
Yeah.
I definitely loved having y'all here,
Yes.
bro. I feel like this shit, we going to talk. We going to do this a little more often.
Yeah.
This is really fucking fun. It was just great.
Yeah.
The vibe, the energy.
I gotta see if
I
Chef
love it,
got
bro.
some to-go platters.
That shit really was hitting.
Like, yo, let me get one of them salmons, man, to go.
My
Like,
man, Chef D Night, look at my shit going, man. I don't even be eating all the way. I got on my joint under my, you know what I'm saying? Keep my stomach together. I don't even got space like that. That shit still
Nah,
hit.
food was excellent, man.
that
But Smooth just came on our show last week. We're gonna be fast tracking, putting that out. It was a super dope show, topical, you know, talking about cooking up, talking about current events and all of that stuff. But yeah, we family. So it's like we go back and forth. You know, we appreciate y'all having us, and we had an amazing show with you. And like you said, we definitely need to do this like more often. Like it's just a natural chemistry.
yeah, because Langston done came over here about 6 times.
He like the fuck out of here. I tell y'all, he gonna fuck me up when these cameras stop. But listen, man, tell them where to follow y'all, how to follow the show, how to find y'all, watch y'all, and everything like that.
Official TRPE.
Everything.
On everything. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Wells
Website.
Fargo, nigga, everything. You know what I'm saying? Matt makes me sick.
cdiddy.trpe. Again, Twitter, official TRP, website, official TRP, email, official TRP at Gmail. We are soliciting sponsorships. Anybody want a sponsorship, get in touch with us either through the website or through the email. And we got a lot of stuff coming up, man. We got a big interview coming up in New York soon with 19 Keys from the EYL network.
Yeah.
Yeah, we trying to do our best on the editorial level to kind of like follow up this Umar interview with
Once you do certain things, you gotta stay.
We did a real
it.
good interview today with Catherine Gilmore Richardson, who's a city council
at-large city council, the youngest.
Ain't she running for mayor? or something?
She's running for city council again,
Okay.
but she's the youngest woman in the history of Philadelphia City Council.
Oh, that's
and she's not a district council. She's like
at
at
large,
large, so
which
she
is the
an
whole-
office
covers the
in
whole city.
Hall. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and she came on today and gave us a lot of game as far as like the elections, the primaries, the general election. You know, just a lot of things that we as young blacks might not really understand about the political
And
space.
the path to get involved with politics for anybody that's interested too. For like, we got some younger listeners also that's like, trying to find themselves in career paths and all of that. She talks about specifically how she got involved in politics and made it a career.
Yeah.
That's hard.
So yeah, we've been doing a lot.
Check that out. Make
Yeah,
sure you,
definitely.
find out how you might want to get into politics. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need it. We need some more people out here to
Representing.
make some changes
Yes,
in
indeed.
the city. You
We
know
need
what I'm
more
saying?
black and brown
She was
representation.
actually
Exactly.
speaking on the fact that so many council members are going to be retiring, and it's going to be like a complete changeover. She's like, we're like, this doesn't happen but every 40 years.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's going to be so much room for new people to come in and be council
So we
members.
need to make sure we get some people in there that can speak for us.
Yeah, definitely.
To get the things changed that we need changed to help our city be better.
Straight up.
Yeah, PA is about to be in the point where we have a new governor, a new attorney general, and then Philly is about to have a new mayor and pretty much 90% new Philadelphia City Council.
Yeah.
A whole
shit
new
about to
regime.
change.
Everything is flip-flopping
Yeah.
Crazy.
in the next 6 months.
Listen, man, this was amazing.
Thank y'all,
Hope
man.
y'all enjoyed the food.
Definitely. I need to go platter. I
No,
need to
for sure, for
take
sure,
this
definitely,
home.
man.
I
Make
need
sure
another
y'all-
one. You know what I'm saying?
Whole new side. But listen, y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth.
But she got Amber Graham.
It's TRP, my man Diddy, my man Matt.
We
Make
out.
sure y'all check them out too. But yeah, we out for sure.
Peace.
Peace.